What's up, fellas? Welcome back to Emma's YouTube channel, where Emma sits down basically and talks about who knows what. Today I just felt like coming on and doing like a really low-key, just a little chit-chat video, you know. I don't even know if I'm gonna edit this one again. But I was gonna do this on my podcast, but I kind of wanted to do it face-to-face. Just seemed more, you know, I don't know the right word. Anyways, so today I wanted to talk about why like getting out of shape was the best thing that I did for my mental health. I think anyone you talk to, if you say that statement, would be like, what on earth are you talking about? Like, usually like exercise and eating super well is what helps your mental health, and to a certain extent I definitely agree with that statement. I'm not saying that that's not the case for 99.9% of situations, and even for me now, like that's definitely the situation. But to kind of like explain on that statement, so I think I had a very hard time with, like, when I was in college, getting out of shape. I hated feeling out of shape, and I think since you're on such a strict timeline in college and you're racing year-round basically, I mean summer you get time off, but like, what is that, 2 months, and you still have to train every day basically. You get maybe a week or two off to get out of shape, and I never really experienced what true out of shape felt like until after I graduated from college. But even like in the 2 weeks that I took off, you know, it would make me feel really bad. And I know a lot of people that have a hard time taking time off, and I never had a hard time taking time off. You know, I liked not having to run, you know, year round and having those 2 weeks, but in terms of like getting back into shape and feeling really bad, like that was always not a good time. Anyways, so towards the end of college, I had a really hard time with the way I like looked when I was taking time off, and yeah, just like how my body would change. And I've talked about this in other videos so often, but it was because I felt like kind of what I was doing, I think, was unsustainable for like the way I'm supposed to look and the way I'm supposed to feel. And just like, I mean, being in that racing environment year round, it was just, I felt like I was just always pushing that edge, you know. And I did that for the 4 years I was in college, and I felt like when I graduated I was like, I cannot do this anymore. Like I was pretty burnt out when I left school, and I had very bad body image problems. And I thought honestly leaving college was gonna cure that. I really did. I thought leaving the running world for a while and not competing myself would help it a lot, and let me tell you, it didn't. I really thought leaving college would solve the problem, and it didn't. I guess I do think like the running environment kind of curated a lot of my body image issues, and like I've talked about in other videos before, just like putting on the tight uniform and like, I don't know, obviously I'm a taller and bigger runner than others, so it's just, I stick out from the crowd, you know. So I think a lot of that did stem from like running and the running world, but I think when I graduated I didn't realize like that it would kind of carry over into normal life too. And I really like defined my self-worth on my physical appearance and the way I looked like as like a fit runner. And I didn't realize how much I really valued that until after I left college. And you know, it has been a really like difficult journey. It's the thing I've struggled with the most, like over the past couple years since leaving college. It's not even like not even being as good at running anymore, like I don't really struggle with that much. Like I'm okay with running slower in my easy runs, and you know, not I don't know, being able to rip a 4:40 mile. Like I don't think about that on a day-to-day basis. It's more like, you know, when I like look at old pictures of myself, I'm like, wow, I really look a lot different. And for the first year, I would say leaving college, man, that like, it would really affect me. It would be so bad. Like I would go to bed and I would just be like, I don't even know what it's so irrational. If you don't have these problems, it's so irrational to talk about, and you won't understand. I don't think I could even explain it in terms to where you would understand, but when I was even in college, like, I could just feel like that level of fitness that I aspired towards and maybe I achieved was kind of slipping away just because it was a little bit unsustainable for me, and the way I looked was just kind of like drifting away, and like my ideal appearance, I guess, was like drifting away. I don't know, but especially when I stopped running, like, it definitely started to shift, and my appearance started to shift, which is normal when you leave college sports and you're not running 50 miles a week anymore. And I was having a very, very, very hard time with it, just being okay with that. I don't know why I valued so much of my own like self-worth and like value on my appearance. I was really self-conscious. I hated uploading on YouTube channels. You know, people would post about it, not post about it, but like people would comment about it a lot, and yeah, I don't know, it just like really got to me, to the point where it's like I had to go talk to like a therapist at my last couple months at University of Oregon, because I was like really letting it get to me, and I have no, I don't really know the rationale behind it. It's really hard to explain, like I said, but yeah, I mean, to kind of, I don't know, wrap up this video, my thoughts. I love rambling, as you can tell, but the first year after graduating college was by far the hardest year of my life. 2018 was the hardest year in terms of body image, was so bad. Like, my body was changing so much. I knew I also had to get my period, which is a whole separate video. You guys can go watch that if you want. I'll link it down in the description, but I had never got my period, so that was a huge issue that I dealt with, and 2018 was just kind of like letting my body heal from the years of like stress I've put on it. I've never had an eating disorder. I've never done anything in that realm, so it's like, it was more just like the mental stress that I put on myself that I needed to heal from and take a step away from running. And that was what 2018 was really all about. And then 2019, that was like a transformational year, I will say. That I ended up getting my period that year, and then my body changed completely in 2019. Physically, 2019 was the most painful year of my life in terms of like body transformations. So this is probably TMI, but whatever. My cup size increased dramatically, and it was very, very painful. And I talked about this on my podcast. I'll link the podcast episode I talked about this on in the description down below too, but it was just physically painful, and it was really, really hard because I was 22 at the time. No one is going through this at 22, you know, going through third puberty, but here I am going through third puberty. I felt like I didn't have that many people to talk to about it, and it was just like a really painful year, and a lot of like my clothes, especially like my sports bras, just weren't fitting me anymore. And it was very uncomfortable. But again, I needed to let my body do what it needed to do, you know, to be a healthy woman. So I was okay with it. And 2019 was also the year where I started really like accepting my body for what it is and not what it looks like. Like 2018, I think I was just always stressing about the way I looked and how different I looked from when I was in college. And 2019 is where I really just started realizing, like, I don't know how much my body does for me, and that I like just look so different, but I look like a woman, and like that is really beautiful. And I think it's just because it was so new to me, and it was something that I wasn't used to seeing in the mirror, it was kind of shocking. But especially like I would say like midway through the year, I was just like, wow, like I look so different, but I am beautiful. And it's weird to like say that out loud. Like I've never really said that out loud. But I just remember like this one time I like had pajamas on. It was so random, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I just started crying. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it was like I just have just, I don't know, like a lot of times in my life it's been hard for me to look at myself in the mirror. I'm like getting emotional right now. Anyways, yeah, I think I just spent so much time, especially those later years in college, like I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. I would avoid taking showers, and it was so weird. I don't know where it stemmed from. I really don't. And at that point, when I looked at myself in the mirror last year in my pajamas, and I just started crying because I was like, I like love myself no matter the way I look. And that's when I really realized, like, I don't know, I don't define my self-worth really on the way I look anymore, and it's really freeing. And also just kind of expanding my horizons outside of the running world has really helped that too. Just making friends with people that like don't always comment on your body, or aren't talking about their fitness level, or aren't talking about if they have abs or not, or, you know, don't eat healthy 24/7. Yeah, and same going with the food too. Like, I love to eat healthy, but I love all food. And I think for me in college, like, I wanted to be the best athlete I could be, and I ate super healthy, and I don't regret any second of it. But letting myself loose and just letting myself, you know, eat foods that I didn't necessarily really like eat all the time in college. Not saying I eat them all the time, but just like being okay with not being 100% perfect all the time, like I was trying to in college, has just like really helped me grow as a person, grow as a woman, and just be, you know, I don't know, strong, independent woman, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know where this video is going. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I almost cried in the middle of this. But just the moral of this video, what I want to get out of this for you guys, why I'm sharing this, honestly, is just to vent and to look back on later years and be like, wow, look at her. But the moral of the story is that, like, it is okay if you don't look like what you did when you were running in college. If you're graduated from college and you already feel your body changing, like, just know it's so normal. I am someone who I feel like had an extreme case, just with the third puberty and everything, but just know that it is so normal if your body's changing, especially for girls. You know, we're gonna be mothers most of the time, so you need those birthing hips. Yeah, I don't know, I just, like the title says, for my mental health, the best thing I did was let myself get out of shape and not in running shape, and I love my body for it, you know. Do I have days where I look at myself in the mirror and be like, wow, you know, this is what it is? Yes. But I just feel so much more empowered, and I don't let it affect my emotional state or my actions. And I think that's just, that I've come such a long way, and it really has to do with just letting myself, you know, let loose a little bit, live life. Life's too short to not look at yourself in the mirror. Yeah, and I feel like I might get some hate on this video. I don't really know, but sorry if you hate me. I'm just sharing my personal experience and what I've been through in terms of like body image and stuff, and it's okay if you let yourself get out of shape at the end of the day. It's okay. It's your life. You can do what you want. Don't let other people tell you what to do. Eat healthy, you know, move your body, but don't overstress to the point where you're crying yourself to sleep at night because you hate the way you look. Coming from personal experience, don't recommend. Not a good time. Life is just a lot more fun and exciting and fulfilling when you have a good time and you treat yourself often, and you don't put too much emphasis on like your physical appearance, the way you look in a mirror. And you don't let it consume your thoughts, and there's so many other things to think about in the world. So I know my body is going to change over the course of the next couple of years, and I think that's the ultimate takeaway from all of this, is that I am okay with that. I am okay with that. I know my body is going to change, and I'm just letting it ebb and flow, go through the stages, and I encourage you all to be gentle with yourself and let your bodies do the same. Yeah, I think that's the ending of this video. don't really have anything else to say. This is so all over the place. What is this YouTube channel? You know what? It's Emma Abrahamson's YouTube channel is what it is. Alright guys, I will talk to you in the next one. More triathlon content to come. It's been super fun training. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Follow me on Instagram if you want more daily updates, whatever. And I will hear from you guys in the next one. That's my podcast. That doesn't even make any sense. I will hear from you guys in the next one. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, fellas.